in a very deliberate, perfect way. Then if you tad vidhi, if you want to know that vidhi, what vidhi's to do in order to make that plan successfully unfold so that your creeper goes back to the spiritual sky. Tad vidhi pranipatena. First of all, be very submissive. Prashnena, ask some good spiritual questions. Sevaya, have the seva attitude. Perform service. When the Guru says, I'd like this to be done, then not only do the service, but try to do it in such a perfect way that he's impressed, not just merely pleased. Tad vidhi pranipatena prashnena sevaya upadekshanti diksha. Upadekshanti, they, plural. They will. Upadekshanti, they will give you diksha. Te, to you. Jnanam, they'll give you knowledge. Brahma Gyan, Tattva Gyan, Upadekshanti te Jnanam, Jnaninas, of those who have the Jnana. In other words, not ABCD devotees, but devotees who are very absorbed and deep in knowledge. Guru means heavy in knowledge. Jnaninas, those who have that knowledge. Tattva darshana, who have tattva, seen the truth. Darshana means seen the truth. Darshana. So, anartha, someone who has anartha would be a tattvadarshi? Of course not. Impossible. Completely against the whole teaching. No disciple of Srila Prabhupada received that order while he was physically manifest. That's very clear. It was not given to any individual disciple. Ritvik was given. That's Ritvik Acharya. That's not Diksha Guru. And then, arbitrarily, come the so-called appointment tape, May of 77. Then, within March of 78, so less than a year, now all of a sudden, there's 11 gurus, never as such recognized by the Sampradaya Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. What is the basis of their being guru? Oh, Ritvik Acharya? No, that's not a basis of being guru. Although that was said by the so-called higher authority when the question was asked, what's the basis? Oh, they were Ritviks appointed as Ritvik Acharya. Oh, Ritvik Acharya, then it becomes as good as Acharya. No, it does not. Acharya is a neutral term. It can mean many things. You can be an Acharya in weapons. But that does not make you a guru to be able to give the Diksha, Upadekshanti te Jnanam, Jnaninas. You're not a Tattvadarshi at that level. You're just expert at weapons, so you're an Acharya in weapons. This is all rascaldom. It is deviation. You asked, the question was, what was the deviations? I'm now delineating the deviations. The first deviation was this first transformation of the status of guru. That in March of 78, due to some very bad advice received in Navadvip, the seeds needed the soil. So the soil was there to fertilize their material ambitions. And the poison is personal ambition, and that's what they were loaded with. So then 11 gurus with no solid basis, and then all of a sudden all Mahabhagavats, and all of a sudden 11 zones, that the world was divided into 11 zones, that these 11 Mahabhagavats then function in. And if you say, well, everybody agrees now that the zonal Acharya was wrong. Everybody agrees, no one disagrees. Fine. That's a deviation. It's a big deviation. It's a colossal institutional anartha. So if everybody agrees, then what you're saying is, if you're honest, which you aren't, but if you're honest, if you say everybody agrees with the 11 zones were all colossal impositions, foisting a colossal hoax, popes of the zone. So then, if you agree that it was a deviation, then you must also agree that there was no gurus. Because guru cannot indulge in such a colossal anartha. He doesn't indulge in any anartha. As soon as you say that guru can have anartha, as soon as you say that, then anybody, everybody, every Joe Schmo can be a guru. Everybody can go into Chaitanya Charitamrita and say, Yayātmā Krishna Upadesha. Bhaktir comes into the temple, second day in, he happens to spot that verse. So I'm being ordered by Lord Chaitanya to be guru. Rascal, dumb. Anybody can see this is not right. So the first deviation was the fabricated so-called ISKCON. Now when we say ISKCON, I'm not referring to Srila Prabhupada's pure movement. That's an acronym. We all know what the acronym means. But I'm putting quotation marks on each side of that acronym. I'm saying it's a different thing. The fabricated so-called quote-unquote ISKCON is not the same as ISKCON. The fabricated so-called ISKCON covers ISKCON. It is a covering potency. Avaranatmaka Shakti. First of all, you're in the spiritual sky. You misuse your free will. Prakshepatmaka Shakti. You get pulled out. Avaranatmaka Shakti. You get covered over. This Avaranatmaka Shakti is everywhere in the material world. It has to be. So the real ISKCON got covered over. This was the first deviation with such things like, oh, just put on the uniform and then you will become the soldier. That can work on the relative plane, but that is not the absolute process. The absolute process is diametrically 180 degrees the opposite. The spiritual process is that when you receive the order from your spiritual master to be guru, when you are qualified, that you are free from anartha completely, and you are full of knowledge, jnana vairagya, saivai pungsang paro dharmo, yato bhaktir adhoks ahaituky apratihatā, yayātmā suprasīdati. When that jnana and vairagya is there, because touch tradatana muneo, jnana vairagya yuktaya, you're linked with it. Jnana, knowledge, atma jnana, tattva jnana, so many important tattva jnana. Jnana vairagya, and because of the strength of the knowledge, and remember when we're saying here the jnana, we're talking jnana vigyan, as confirmed in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Jnana vigyan. It's the person who has jnana vigyan who sees with equal vision the stone and the piece of gold and the clod of dirt. The jnana vigyan is in that Sanskrit. So it's touch tradatana muneo, the person who has firm faith, the muni. Muni means he's a very good thinker. Touch tradatana muneo, jnana vairagya yuktaya. He's linked up. Yukta. He's linked up with jnana vairagya. This is the spiritual master. Not that such a quote-unquote spiritual master would be so foolish as to accept the slogan, the Bengali slogan, Mat Guru Si Jagat Guru, would be so foolish as to accept the slogan, just put on the uniform.